Just pull the plug on the penny. The government says it costs 2 cents to make 1 cent, so they're done. And right now, today, millions of people are throwing away coins that are about to become untouchable collector pieces forever. But here's what nobody tells you. 5 specific pennies, pennies that look like trash, pennies you've probably already touched. This week are selling for prices that will make your jaw hit the floor. One of them just crossed $1.7 million at auction. I'm going to show you exactly what to look for. Keep watching, because if you throw one of these away, that's a mistake you can never take back. This is a penny. Coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today we are diving into one of the most shocking and famous coins ever discovered in American pocket change. The legendary 1955 wheat penny, a small copper coin that once passed through everyday hands, but today can be worth thousands of dollars and in some cases even more. Many people have spent this coin without realizing they were holding a rare mistake from the United States Mint, and the story behind this coin feels almost unbelievable. This coin belongs to the famous Lincoln wheat penny, a coin series that carried the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front and 2 wheat ears on the back. The design was created by artist Victor David Brenner, and it became one of the longest-running coin designs. In American history, millions of these coins were made every year, and they were used everywhere in shops, vending machines, and daily life across the United States. But something incredible happened in the year 1955 inside the powerful presses of the United States Mint during the production of pennies at the Philadelphia Mint. A rare and dramatic error occurred that would later create one of the most valuable error coins in American history. Collectors today know it as the famous doubled die penny, and its discovery shocked the coin collecting world. Imagine a worker loading coin dies into a massive minting press. Everything seems normal. The machines roar to life and thousands of coins begin to strike every hour, but one die used to stamp the coins was not perfectly aligned during the creation process. When the die was made, it was impressed twice by the hub that carries the coin design, and those impressions were slightly shifted. This tiny mistake created a powerful doubling effect that appears on every coin struck from that die. The result was a coin where the words, "Liberty in God we trust," and the date 1955 appear doubled in a dramatic and easy-to-see way, unlike many coin errors that require magnification. This one can be spotted with the naked eye. Even someone with no collecting experience can see the strange doubling that makes the letters look like shadows or echoes. At first, the mint workers did not notice the mistake. Thousands of coins were produced. Before the error was discovered, by the time the problem was recognized, many of these pennies had already been shipped out into circulation across the country. They entered banks, stores, and cash registers just like normal pennies. No one realized they were handling a future collector treasure. The first people to notice something unusual were everyday Americans counting their change. People started spotting pennies where the letters looked strangely doubled. Some thought the coins were fake, while others believed the mint had created a new design. Rumors spread quickly, and collectors began searching through their change, hoping to find one of these mysterious coins. The error soon became famous across the numismatic community, especially among members of the American Numismatic Association. Collectors were amazed because the doubling was so strong and so clear. It became one of the most dramatic mint errors ever released into circulation. As word spread, more people started searching. Rolls of pennies. Banks were asked for bags of cents. Collectors spent hours examining coins under bright lights, hoping to discover the famous 1955 doubled die wheat penny. Some lucky people actually found them in ordinary pocket change, paying only 1 cent for a coin that would later become worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. What makes this coin even more fascinating is the number believed to exist. Experts estimate that around 20,000 to 24,000 coins may have been released before the mint corrected the mistake, compared to the billions of pennies produced. This number is extremely small, which is why collectors around the world still hunt for this coin. Today, the value of the 1955 doubled die wheat penny depends heavily on its condition. Coins that circulated heavily may still sell for hundreds of dollars, but coins that survived in beautiful condition have reached incredible prices in auctions. High-grade examples have sold for thousands, and sometimes even more depending on demand and quality. Collectors love this coin, not only because of its value, but because it represents one of the greatest minting mistakes ever discovered. It is a perfect example of how a tiny misalignment during production can create history. A mistake that lasted only a short time inside. The mint ended up producing one of the most famous coins in American collecting. The front of the coin shows the portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right, just like other wheat pennies. But the dramatic doubling is easy to see. The letters of liberty appear twice the words, "In God we trust," look like they have a ghost image behind them, and the date 1955 is boldly doubled, making it the easiest place to spot the error on the reverse. The classic wheat design still appears strong with the words 1 cent and United States of America, surrounded by 2 wheat ears representing prosperity and agriculture in early 20th century America. This simple design became one of the most beloved coin images in the country. Because the error is so famous, many fake versions have appeared over the years. Some people try to create artificial doubling using machines or engraving tools, but experts can easily tell the difference, real doubled. Die coins show clear separation in the design, while fake versions often look blurry or scratched. Professional grading companies and experienced collectors examine these coins carefully to confirm authenticity when a genuine example is verified. Its value and desirability increase significantly. Collectors are always willing to pay a premium for coins with strong visible doubling. The popularity of this coin also grew because it appeared during a golden age of coin collecting in the United States. During the 1950s and 1960s, people began paying more attention to coins, searching for silver coins, rare dates, and mint errors. The 1955 doubled die penny became one of the ultimate discoveries for hobbyists. Even decades later, the legend continues. Collectors still search old penny jars, inherited collections, and bankrolls, hoping to discover this rare piece of history. Sometimes amazing discoveries still happen, proving that valuable coins can hide in ordinary places for many years before being recognized. Another reason collectors love this coin is its dramatic appearance. Many rare coins require expert knowledge to appreciate, but this penny tells its story instantly. The bold doubling jumps out at the viewer, making it one of the most visually exciting error coins ever made. The story of the 1955 wheat penny also reminds us that mistakes can sometimes create unexpected treasures. A tiny production error inside the United States. Mint transformed a 1-cent coin into a legendary collectible that people still chase today. Many collectors also connect this coin to the long history of the Lincoln Cent series, which began in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln and continues today in different designs. The wheat reverse used from 1909 to 1958 remains one of the most nostalgic designs for American collectors, and the 1955 doubled die stands at the top of that era as one of the most famous pieces ever produced. Today, the coin remains a star attraction at coin shows, auctions, and collector gatherings. Whenever a genuine example appears, people gather around to see the bold doubled letters and to hear the legendary story of how a simple penny became one of the most talked about coins in the history of American numismatics. And here is the most exciting part. Many of these coins originally entered circulation mixed with normal pennies, which means some could still be hiding in old collections, forgotten drawers, or family coin jars waiting to be rediscovered by someone with a careful eye. So the next time you see an old wheat penny, take a closer look, examine the date. Look at the letters and remember the incredible story of the 1955 doubled die penny, a coin born from a mistake, yet transformed into a treasure that collectors across the world continue searching for even today. This small copper coin proves that history can live inside the tiniest objects, sometimes worth only 1 cent at first glance, but worth a fortune to those who understand the story behind it. The legend of the 1955 wheat penny continues to inspire collectors, treasure hunters, and historians who believe that the next great discovery could still be waiting in a simple handful of change. And that is why the 1955 doubled die wheat penny remains one of the most wanted coins in the United States, a symbol of rarity, mystery, and the thrilling possibility that extraordinary value can hide inside the most ordinary coin in your pocket. Coin collectors and history hunters today. We open the door to a coin that many people ignore every day, yet a small copper piece from the year 1980 could quietly be sitting in a jar, a pocket, or an old family box. And it may carry a surprising story and real collector value. This is the legendary Lincoln penny from 1980, a coin connected to one of the most famous figures in American history, Abraham Lincoln, and a coin that still circulates across the United States under the authority of the United States Mint in an era when people are talking about the future of the penny and rumors about stopping production keep spreading. Many collectors are now paying attention again to older Lincoln cents and the 1980 penny has suddenly become part of that conversation. Millions of these coins were made, but not every coin is the same, and some rare versions are becoming more desirable every year, especially as collectors search through rolls, jars, and bank boxes, hoping to find that one coin with a special detail that turns a simple penny into a collectible treasure. The Lincoln cent itself is one of the longest-running coin designs in American history, first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. It replaced the older design known as the Indian head cent and quickly became one of the most recognizable coins in the country. The design showing Lincoln on the front was created by the sculptor Victor David Brenner, and it was the first regular United States coin to feature a real historical person by 1980. The coin had already been circulating for more than 70 years, but the world around it was changing. The United States economy was dealing with inflation and the cost of producing pennies was slowly rising, yet the penny continued to be minted in massive numbers to keep commerce moving every day across the country. In 1980, the United States Mint produced Lincoln pennies at several mint facilities including Philadelphia Mint, Denver Mint, and San Francisco Mint. Each mint created slightly different versions of the coin identified by small mint marks. Collectors today carefully study these tiny letters because they can affect the rarity and value of a coin. The most common coins from this year are the 1980 penny without a mint mark from Philadelphia and the 1980 D penny from Denver. These coins were produced in the billions, which means most examples you find in circulation will only be worth face value. But here is where the story becomes exciting because collectors know that certain conditions and special versions can change everything. One of the most interesting coins from this year is the 1980 S-proof penny-proof coins were specially made for collectors using polished dies and carefully prepared blanks. These coins were struck at the San Francisco Mint, and they have a mirror-like finish that looks very different from ordinary circulating coins when preserved in perfect condition. These proof pennies can become beautiful pieces of American numismatic history. Condition is one of the most powerful factors that affects the value of a coin. Collectors often grade coins using the famous Sheldon scale, which ranges from poor condition to perfect mint state. Coins that survive from 1980 without scratches, wear, or damage are much harder to find than ordinary circulated coins, and they can sell for far more than a single cent. Some mint state 1980 pennies graded in very high condition by major grading companies have sold for surprising prices because collectors building perfect sets are willing to pay more for coins that show full red color, strong details, and no visible damage. But the real excitement for collectors comes from errors and unusual mint variations. Sometimes during the minting process, small mistakes occur, and those mistakes can transform a common coin into a rare collectible. Examples include doubled dies off center strikes, clipped planchets, or other striking errors that appear when the coin was created inside the powerful presses of the United States Mint. Imagine finding a 1980 penny where the letters look slightly doubled or the design appears shifted. These kinds of coins can attract serious attention in the collector market because mint errors are unique pieces of history. Each one tells the story of a moment when the minting machines created something unexpected. Another reason collectors are paying attention to older pennies is the long-running discussion about the future of the 1-cent coin. In recent years, economists and lawmakers have debated whether the United States should continue producing pennies because the cost of making them has sometimes been higher than their face value. This debate became louder in the mid-2020s when reports suggested that the government might eventually reduce or stop penny production. Many people remembered how other countries eliminated their lowest value coins and began rounding cash transactions. If something similar ever happens in the United States, older pennies could become nostalgic reminders of a disappearing era of American money. For collectors, this possibility adds excitement, because when a coin stops being produced, public interest often increases. People begin searching their homes and saving the coins they once ignored, and sometimes hidden treasures appear inside forgotten collections. The 1980 Lincoln penny is not the rarest coin in American history, but it sits inside a fascinating moment in the long timeline of the Lincoln cent series between the early copper coins of the 20th century and the modern zinc-based pennies introduced later in the decade. For example, in 1982, the composition of the Lincoln cent changed dramatically when the mint shifted from mostly copper coins to copper-plated zinc coins, because rising metal prices made the older composition too expensive to continue. This means the 1980 penny still belongs to the earlier metal tradition that collectors often prefer. So when you hold a 1980 Lincoln penny, you are holding a small piece of the older copper era of American coinage, a time before the composition changed and before the modern debate about eliminating the penny reached its peak for beginners who want to search for valuable coins. The process is simple but exciting. Start by examining the date and mint mark under good lighting. Use a magnifying glass if possible. Look carefully at the letters, the numbers, and the edges of the design. If you see unusual doubling, strange shapes, or off-center designs, you may have discovered something special. Next, check the condition. Coins that still shine with strong red color and sharp details are much more valuable to collectors than dark, worn examples. Storing coins properly in holders or albums can protect them from damage and help preserve their value for the future. Many collectors also recommend keeping older pennies separated by year and mint mark, building a collection. One coin at a time is part of the joy of numismatics, and even common coins can become meaningful when they complete a historical set. Across the United States, thousands of collectors continue searching through rolls of pennies every week, hoping to discover rare dates, mint errors, or beautifully preserved coins hidden among ordinary change. Sometimes those discoveries lead to coins worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, especially when certified by professional grading services. The story of the Lincoln penny is really the story of American history itself, from the early 20th century through wars, economic changes, technological advances, and the digital age. This small coin has remained a constant companion in everyday life, and that is why coins like the 1980 Lincoln penny continue to capture attention. Even today, they remind collectors that history can hide in the smallest places inside a drawer, a jar, or a forgotten pocket. So before you spend your next penny, take a moment to look closely at the date and the design. That tiny coin might simply be worth 1 cent, or it might be a collectible piece of American history waiting to be discovered by someone curious enough to look. The hunt for valuable coins never truly ends, because every generation of collectors brings new excitement, new discoveries, and new appreciation for the small metal pieces that carry the story of a nation. And somewhere out there, another 1980 Lincoln penny may still be waiting to surprise the next lucky collector who decides to search their change and keep their eyes open for hidden treasures in the world of coins. Coin collectors and history hunters. Today we dive into one of the most surprising and mysterious coins hiding in everyday pocket change, the legendary 1988 Lincoln penny. A coin many people ignore, a coin millions have spent without a second thought. Yet behind its small, copper-colored surface lies a story of rarity, history, and collector excitement that has shocked the numismatic world. And as the United States moves closer to ending the penny era, many collectors believe the time to search. Your change is now. The Lincoln penny first appeared in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln, and it became one of the longest-running coin designs in American history for generations. Americans carried these coins in their pockets, jars, and piggy banks, rarely imagining that a single penny could become a collector treasure worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But hidden among billions of normal coins are rare varieties and minting mistakes. And one of the most talked about surprises is the 1988 Lincoln penny, with a special design variety that many people still do not recognize. In 1988, the United States Mint produced Lincoln pennies at several mint facilities, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Billions of coins were struck that year, which normally would make the coin extremely common and worth only 1 cent. However, a fascinating discovery changed everything. Some 1988 pennies were struck with a reverse design intended for a later year, creating a rare, transitional variety that collectors now hunt with excitement. To understand why this matters, we must look closely at the design on the back of the coin. The Lincoln Memorial reverse design, which was used from 1959 to 2008, was modified slightly. Over the years, the lettering and details changed in subtle ways that most people never noticed, but collectors pay attention to the smallest details because those details can reveal a rare variety worth serious money. The shocking discovery was the 1988 reverse of 1989 variety. This means that some pennies struck in 1988 used the updated reverse design that was supposed to appear in 1989. Only a small number were produced before the change was corrected, making this one of the most famous, modern penny varieties. At first glance, the difference is tiny and most people would never see it, but coin experts noticed a key clue in the lettering of the memorial building on the reverse side. The shape and spacing of certain letters reveal whether the coin has the 1988 reverse or the rare 1989 reverse style. This small design difference transformed an ordinary penny into a collectible coin that collectors now search for in rolls, jars, and pocket change. When collectors realize this discovery, the coin community exploded with excitement. Suddenly, the humble 1988 penny was no longer just another copper-plated zinc coin. It became a modern treasure hunt because many examples could still be circulating in everyday change, unlike extremely rare ancient coins. This variety might still be sitting unnoticed in someone's coin jar right now. The value of a normal 1988 Lincoln penny is of course just 1 cent, but the rare reverse of 1989 variety can sell for hundreds of dollars. Depending on condition, some certified examples graded by professional coin grading services have reached values well above $1,000, especially in mint state condition where the coin shows almost no wear from circulation. Condition plays a huge role in coin value. A heavily worn example might still be valuable as a rare variety, but a bright uncirculated coin with sharp details and original luster can command a much higher price. Collectors look closely at every detail, including the shine of the metal, the sharpness of the design, and the absence of scratches or damage. Another reason collectors are paying attention to Lincoln pennies today is the ongoing debate about the future of the penny itself. For years, the cost of producing the coin has been higher than its face value, and discussions about ending penny production have grown louder. If the penny eventually disappears from circulation, it could trigger renewed interest in collecting them, especially rare varieties. From past decades, recent announcements about changes in coin production and the rising cost of minting small denomination coins have created a wave of speculation among collectors. Some believe that once the penny stops being produced, many people will suddenly start saving them just like older generations saved silver coins when the metal value increased. This is why the search for rare pennies has become more exciting than ever. Collectors are checking bankrolls, coin jars, flea markets, and old collections hoping to discover one of these hidden varieties before someone else finds it. The 1988 reverse of 1989 penny is not the only surprising coin from the Lincoln series, but it represents something special. It proves that even in modern times, rare coins can still appear unexpectedly. Sometimes the most valuable discoveries are not ancient gold coins, but small pieces of change that passed through countless hands unnoticed. Imagine the excitement of finding such a coin while searching through a jar of pennies, a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of times its face value hiding in plain sight. This possibility is what keeps collectors searching day after day. If you want to check for this variety, you must examine the reverse side of the coin, carefully compare the lettering and details with known examples from 1988 and 1989. Collectors often use magnifying glasses or microscopes to study these tiny differences because the change is subtle but important. Many collectors also send their rare discoveries to professional grading services where experts authenticate the coin, verify the variety, and assign a grade based on its condition. Once certified, the coin becomes easier to sell and often more valuable, because buyers trust the official verification. The story of the 1988 Lincoln penny reminds us that history can hide in the smallest objects. Coins travel across the country, from person to person, carrying the marks of time, commerce, and design changes. Each one is a tiny artifact of American history, and sometimes those artifacts contain surprises waiting to be discovered as the United States approaches a possible turning point in the future of the penny collectors and treasure hunters are paying closer attention than ever before. Every handful of change could contain something special. Every coin jar could hide a forgotten rarity. So before you spend that next penny, take a closer look. Examine the date, study the design. And remember that the coin in your hand might not be ordinary at all. It could be one of the rare varieties that collectors dream about, a small copper coin with a big story and a hidden value waiting to be revealed. The hunt continues every day across the country. In homes, banks, and coin shops, collectors young and old are searching through rolls of pennies, hoping to find that one rare coin that changes everything. And among those coins, the mysterious 1988 Lincoln penny reverse of 1989 variety remains one of the most exciting modern discoveries in American coin collecting history. In the end, the lesson is simple. Never underestimate the power of small change, because sometimes the smallest coin can carry the biggest surprise. And somewhere out there, another rare 1988 penny may still be waiting to be found, hidden in plain sight among billions of ordinary coins, just waiting for the right collector to notice its secret and turn a simple penny into a remarkable piece of numismatic history.